Please join in as Mackenzie Flynn leads us in the Pledge to the Flag, followed by our national anthem, performed by the Whitman-Hanson choral members, conducted by Mr. Gregory Daigle.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave,
Good evening, everyone. Superintendent Jeff Simonak, members of the school committee and board of selectmen, both Whitman and Hanson's fire and police departments, invited guests, faculty, family, and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2024. I would like to welcome you to this evening's graduation ceremonies. But before we get started with this long-awaited and much-deserved celebration, it's important that I take a moment to thank some of the key people in making tonight special. Senior class advisors, Ms. Bree Ashe and Mr. Bruce Gardner, for the hours they have dedicated to the senior class. Mrs. Siobhan Horton, Mrs. Anna Rita LaPietra Costa, and Ms. Megan Rivera for performing and accomplishing many unrealized tasks that take all day and many hours late into the evening to make sure this ceremony runs as smoothly as possible. Mr. David Fleck and Mr. Christopher Guggens for the organization of this evening's festivities. Mr. Marcus Casey and Mr. Jason Cook for providing all audio and visual enhancements tonight. Today's graduation video coverage is brought to you by Whitman-Hanson Community Access. Replays of this ceremony and other class of 2024 events will be available on Comcast Channel 8 and at WHCA TV/watch. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. George Farrow, Mr. Mike Driscoll, and all the facility staff. They must be commended for all their hard work in setting up this year's celebration. I now ask that you join me in a moment of silence for our service people, those who are currently serving, members of the class of 2024 who will serve, and those who have fallen in the service of this great nation. Finally, I think it would be appropriate for all of us to take a moment to reflect on a few other journeys that will be coming to an end, much like the graduates before us. Whitman-Hanson Regional High School and the whole community would like to thank the following individuals for their service to our community and wish them well as they begin their retirement. Mrs. Ruth Kerrigan, Director of Counseling, 20 years of service. Mr. John Stifler, history teacher, 30 years of service. Mr. Dom Amato, school counselor, 35 years of service. And Mrs. Marianne Ortega, math teacher, 39 years of service. I would now like to introduce Emily Deal, President of the Class of 2024, to welcome you all to tonight's ceremony.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2024 graduation ceremony. It is amazing to see so many smiling faces here today supporting our class. My name is Emily Deal, the senior class president, and I would like to congratulate all my fellow seniors who have achieved this incredible milestone. And on behalf of the class of 24, I would also like to offer a collective thank you to all faculty, staff, teachers, friends, family, and distinguished guests. We couldn't have done it without you. Over the years, you've driven us to school and packed our lunches, or you've driven us crazy with homework and packed our afternoons with extracurricular activities. And while we may have moaned and groaned at times, we've cherished every moment. There is so much to cherish about Whitman-Hanson, but what I feel sets us apart, even from the most prestigious schools in a state known for excellence in education, is the fact that Whitman-Hanson is a regional high school, meaning that after 8th grade, the kids from both Whitman and Hanson come together to share a high school. The summer heading into freshman year is one that most of us will never forget. It was filled with gossip shared by the kids from each of the two towns that would soon be under one roof. The Whitman kids wondered about the Hanson ones, and the Hanson kids tried to get the scoop on the Whitman students. The shared reservations of meeting one another and the anxiety of wondering who would become our new friends faded almost immediately on our first day in September of 2020. Despite what anyone says, though, walking through those high school doors as a freshman is a nerve-wracking experience. And to compound the stress, we would be starting off as cohorts A and B. It was 7:05, and I searched for my biology class. I was filled with the added angst of knowing that all of my Whitman friends were in cohort A, and I was in B. Walking up to the second floor, I was met with a kind face of someone I did not recognize, and as we neared the same classroom, I asked, "Freshman year bio with Miss Smith?" The girl replied, "Yes, me too." And a wave of relief filled my body as McKenna Marshall introduced herself. For those of you who don't know, McKenna is from Hanson, I am from Whitman, and 4 years later, she has become one of my best friends. She too had shared the nervousness that I had felt. The story of McKenna and me is the story of every graduating senior who has since become friends with others from the opposite town. Together, we have not only shared a physical building, but also have shared an incredible journey filled with many amazing memories. I once read a poem about sharing titled "The Cookie Thief" by Valerie Cox. The message of this poem has stuck with me, so much so that I would like to share it with all of you. The poem reads, "A woman was waiting at an airport one night for several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gusty cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she'd been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She'd gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at that thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank into her seat. Then she sought out her book, which was almost complete. As she reached into her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies, right in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The others were his, and he had tried to share. As a freshman, I might have interpreted this as a story about simply sharing a bag of cookies. But, as we all know, this isn't so much about a baked good, as it is about a virtue that we should bake into every aspect of our lives. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase sharing is caring, whether it came from a teacher, a parent, or even an ad on TV. But at 18 years old, we must recognize how valuable this piece of advice truly is. With an eye towards future endeavors ahead, it is crucial to recognize the importance of sharing, whether it's an idea, a helping hand, a smile, or even a cookie. We are truly fulfilled when we share, selflessly, with others. We have shared similar lifestyles in these past 4 years, but as we enter the quote-unquote real world, we will meet a vast amount of people who have lived completely different lives than our own. These people will be willing to share their experiences, and I recommend that you all listen, as it will open your eyes to new and broad perspectives. Also remember to share your stories and your insight on life, as it will help others grow and succeed. Sharing breaks down barriers and brings people together. Sharing pride in our collective accomplishment of graduating is what has brought us here today, and we have a long history of sharing. We shared our first steps with our parents. We shared our first heartbreak with our best friends. We shared our first goal with our coaches. We shared junior year algebra answers. Sorry, Miss Ashe. We shared long walks up the path, be it below freezing or 80-degree heat. We've shared smiles as we pass each other in the halls. We've shared anger after arriving at school with senior privs and having all of our parking spaces taken by the juniors. We've shared laughter at lunch tables, football games, and pep rallies, especially when Dr. Jones shaved his beard. And today, we share the most honorable of experiences, the sharing of this stage, as we each take our walk across and get handed our diplomas, at which time we will share that surreal feeling of graduating. I am beyond grateful that I have gotten the opportunity to share my story with each one of you. But more importantly, thank you for letting me be a part of each one of yours. Congratulations, class of 2024. We made it.
Please welcome the valedictorian of the class of 2024, Ainsley Kobus, presenting her speech, The Sunrise.
Hello and welcome, class of 2024, teachers, administration, counselors, and most importantly, our families here to support us today. As I begin my speech, there are 2 things you all in the crowd deserve. Firstly, congratulations. One of my best friends, Grace Cosgrave, who we all know and love, is the most passionate fan of our grade that I know. So in the words of my Gracie girl, I just really love Whitman-Hanson. With undying love, I congratulate you all. Secondly, thank you. If you know me, you know I can never seem to get enough thank yous out. So I've decided to organize my gratitude into sections. Firstly, my family. There is no world where I could repay you with any amount of thank yous, but I suppose I can try. Dad, thank you for always pushing me to jump, and Mom, thank you for catching me with open arms when I would fall. Thank you both for not only believing in me, but also teaching me to believe in myself. Tucker, thank you for teaching me the definition of a strong work ethic. You taught me that cutting corners only leads to unproductive circles, and I will always, always look up to you as my big brother. Secondly, thank you, teachers. The older I get, the more I understand the angel work you all do. I appreciate every single one of you. But specifically, thank you, Mr. Kozak, for spending what felt like years after school with me until I could finally sort of understand the physics concepts. Thank you, Ms. Risco, for making my senior year packed with irreplaceable life lessons. Thank you, Ms. Fleck, for passionately encouraging me to reach for the stars since day one. And thank you, Jay Capoletti. Although you're only a student, the countless hours you spent teaching me AP Calculus could have probably earned you a teaching job. Thank you, Ms. Doksevich, for providing me with the support I needed in high school. I forever appreciate our time together. And thank you, Ms. Galambus and Ms. Buzan, for being the best club advisors in the world. It's Key Club and Best Buddies that made my high school experience so special. And now, most importantly, thank you all. Thank you for being my role models, best friends, motivators, personal comedians, and most of all, thank you for being my family. We've spent the majority of our lives together. Whether that thought warms your heart or terrifies you, I think we can all admit we've beautifully morphed into a family over the last 12 years. Whether you're willing to believe it or not, I've been fortunate enough to take something away from each and every one of you. One of the most impactful quotes in my life is, "You will always be loved more than you will ever know," from Neville Goddard. Classmates, I've silently observed your decisions to sit next to someone new at lunch, and you've inspired me to be more outgoing. I've received compliments on an outfit I was insecure about, and in turn, you've boosted my self-esteem. I felt beyond overwhelmed with piles of homework, but somehow, classmates, you've kept me laughing through it all. Whether it was a whispered inside joke Lexi Cole and I have had since 5th grade, or a classroom-wide eruption of laughter, class of 2024, you've kept me smiling. So, if you can take one thing away from me today, and I know it's incredibly difficult to hear anything I'm saying as we're about to begin the rest of our lives, but take away this. I love you all more than you will ever know. On one of these last 720 days of high school, I've been your silent admirer and loved each of the 260 of you more than you will ever know. Thank you for growing up with me, Whitman-Hanson class of 2024, but above all, the reason we are here today is to finally depart. If you're like the typical senior in high school, you've probably experienced some instance of apprehension about growing up and moving on. I would have told you last week that I absolutely could not wait to grow up, but after spending 45 minutes driving in the same circle with Alex Gayas and Emily Deal, blasting Never Grow Up by Taylor Swift, maybe, just maybe, a piece of myself would like to freeze in this moment forever. So if you're feeling the overwhelming emotions about becoming the adult you've always dreamed of, I offer you this. If you were to compare the average lifespan of 77 years to a 24-hour day, at age 18, it's only 5:30 in the morning. In other words, the percentage of time that has passed in our life so far is the same as the percentage of time that has passed in a day at 5:30 in the morning. So good morning, class of 2024. The sun is just rising. As much as I fantasize about my weekend beach sunrises with my golden retriever Kane, I can also acknowledge that a sunrise symbolizes beginning, and beginnings can be scary. My mom's favorite movie is Hope Floats, which includes a quote reading, "Beginnings are usually scary and endings are usually sad, but it's what's in the middle that counts." Class of 2024, this is your beginning. Reach for goals that appear to have an enticing journey, not just a rewarding end, because it's what's in the middle that counts. When I randomly decided at 15 years old that I wanted to try to be valedictorian, I had no idea how I'd feel if I reached my goal. And honestly, I mostly just felt glad that I went on the journey. More important than my final destination was learning from several new friends in various AP classes, getting into Harvard, and being given the opportunity to tutor, connecting with teachers on a deeper level, and attempting to boost my GPA by taking a random AP psychology course as a junior. That random AP psychology course allowed me to discover my passion for psychology and ultimately what I want to do with my life. So in summary, pick goals that seem appealing, but consider how you're going to feel, who you're going to meet, and your opportunity for growth in the middle, because that's what counts. So the clock reads 5:30 a.m., class of 2024. The sun is just rising. What are you going to do with your day?
Please enjoy the concert chorus as they perform We Know the Way from Disney's Moana. Please welcome the salutatorian of the class of 2024, Nicole Donato, presenting her speech, Lead Yourself.
Good evening, class of 2024, families, and faculty. It has been said before, perhaps too many times, that this moment seems surreal. It feels like just yesterday I was sitting in class in the 7th grade, dreaming longingly of going to high school, not even considering graduating. Not too long ago, we were naive freshmen, walking the one-way halls and wishing that online school would last forever or end immediately. We laughed when we saw our peers' faces for the first time when the masks were off, and as sophomores, we pulled our hair out over college applications and our grades as juniors. Now as seniors, we survived adolescence, and we move forward into the adult world head on. I would like to thank my family for putting up with me for these past 4 years. Being a first-generation student, my family has been the biggest support system for me. To my mom, thank you for being the most caring, intelligent, and kindest person alive, and for cooking me breakfast at 3:30 a.m. To my dad, thank you for being realistic and giving me the outlook and life lessons I needed to reach this stage. You taught me what the real world looks like. To Auntie, thank you for always giving good advice and for your surprise visits. And to my Papa and my Grammy, thank you for always listening to me complain about my homework every night. Papa, you always had the funniest stories to tell me to cheer me up after a long day at school, especially the ones from your childhood and the farm. I would like to extend my gratitude to some of the incredible faculty here as well. Thank you to Mr. Dukeman for always making class exciting and for giving me back the sarcasm I gave to you. Duke, you always had my back. Thank you to Mr. DeSantis for being my DECA advisor and for supporting me at ICDC. DECA gave me some of the best memories from high school. Thank you to Ms. Shaw for always opening the library doors to me and for always being someone I could go to for anything. From song recommendations to school problems, you were always there. And of course, thank you to my senior teachers, especially Ms. Risco and Mr. Fondulis, for making this year the most memorable yet. I would not have made it through senior year without your support. There are so many teachers I could thank, but I, as well as the entire class of 2024, appreciate every single one of you and everything you have done for us. Now, as we sit here and reflect on our high school experience, I offer one small piece of advice. Never be a follower. I used to be a follower myself, always conforming to what I thought society wanted and the people around me wanted. I followed the pressure to succeed. I did what I thought was expected of me, and I never made my own decisions. My personality wasn't seen, and I was robotic. Even in high school, I often neglected to be myself. Outside of the academic persona, others thought of me, and I began to believe them. Being myself was never enough, and I never led myself to who I wanted to be. But after 4 long years of working myself into the ground, I realized what I had truly missed, myself. So I chose to become a leader, and I am making the decisions to do what I want and be who I am. There's more to me, and all of us, than what society makes us to be. I'm leading myself to the University of Florida, to adulthood, and to show my true personality behind the mask of the quote-unquote smart kid. However, I did not become a leader overnight, or on my own. Many of my wonderful friends taught me how to be a leader. Ava, you taught me how to have fun and lead an example to loosen up and enjoy life. Haley and Ariana, you taught me to make jokes in class and led me to show my true self at school. And Mary, you led me to be too many things, and I cannot list them because you were just such an incredible leader yourself. A true leader takes on the positive qualities of those around them, and becoming a leader will take time. We all have many lessons to learn on the way. To borrow a quote from my favorite band, Fall Out Boy, you are what you love, not who loves you. We're defined by who we are, not by how others wish to define us. Only you can define yourself. I urge you now to become a leader. Being a leader doesn't mean leading for only others, but leading yourself as well. Lead yourself to your desires, your dreams, and your passions. Choosing to follow the crowd will only leave you lost in the middle. In the end, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you, because the only person everyone thinks of is themselves. Following the expectations that society creates, or what others think, will lead you to become somebody you are not. Trust me, nobody cares what you do or what you think, and that is a good thing. And to quote Fall Out Boy once more, I don't care what you think. Be yourself, even if nobody else agrees. Soon, we will all part ways and start our new lives. This is our chance to find our way and lead our path. Many of us might not have been leaders in high school, but we have the opportunity now. We all will lead lives in different directions, and I'm beyond excited to see where everyone will lead themselves. Use this chance to be the person you might not have been in high school and leave behind all the pressures and expectations. Now is the time to lead yourself. I hope you all choose to become your own leader. Lead yourselves into your careers, your higher education, or any other crazy dream you have. Don't succumb to the pressures put on you by anybody. Just be you. Just do it. We spent 4 years being self-conscious teenagers, and now it's time to be confident and strong leaders. I wish the entire Whitman-Hanson class of 2024 the best of luck in your future endeavors. Congratulations, class of 2024, and go Gators!
Please enjoy the band as they play Pixar movie favorites, conducted by Mr. Brian Rowe. At this time, I would like to direct the seniors in the band and chorus to join their fellow classmates. Please welcome the chairperson of the school committee, Mrs. Beth Stafford, as she addresses the class of 2024.
Well, first of all, I have to give special congratulations to Mrs. Stafford's grade 6 social studies group. Where are you? Yeah. Congratulations, guys. Good evening, Superintendent Seismanak, Dr. Jones, faculty, parents, friends, and especially the graduating class of 2024. I am proud to represent the Whitman-Hanson School Committee to congratulate you on this wonderful achievement. I think a word to describe this class is caring. So many of you have been involved with helping each other and yourselves. You took a tragedy and started a chapter of active minds and already has become a nationally recognized support group with dozens of members. You belong to other groups such as Best Buddies, Unified Sports, LGBTQ, and many other inclusive groups. You look out for each other. This is a trait not always learned in education, but it has found a way into your lives, and I hope you keep it going. This ability to care and look out for others will be very important in your future endeavors. Whether you're going directly into the workforce, the trades, military service, or college, it will make such a difference in your lives, even if it is not clear at the time. Caring, compassion, and empathy will always help you lead a well-rounded, productive life. You may never know how a kind word or gesture will mean to someone, but I'm sure you will feel better for it. You have been a very impressive class. I am very proud of your accomplishments and wish you the best in whatever path you chose to take. The world is yours. Be kind, and best of luck to all of you.
I would now like to invite our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jeffrey Simonak, to present his remarks to the class of 2024.
Good evening, Dr. Jones, Mr. Fleck, Mr. Googans, members of the school committee, teachers, parents, guardians, friends, and members of the class of 2024. Tonight we are here to celebrate the Whitman-Hanson Regional High School graduation. In my humble opinion, one of the best days of the year. Most of you may not know, but it's not easy for me to speak to large groups. Just about 2 hours ago, I was pacing around my house, getting ready to leave. I told my wife how anxious I was feeling. We have an awesome relationship, and she always seems to help me get through times of stress. In her reassuring way, my wife said, "You'll do great," and then asked, "You're not telling any jokes tonight, are you? Because you know you're really not that funny." Then she paused and casually said, "Oh, but it really doesn't matter because nobody listens to the superintendent's remarks anyway. Best of luck to you." With that boost of confidence, I stand before you to talk about relationships. Why relationships? Because they are an integral part of being human. Through our relationships, we share happiness and sadness, victories and defeats, and our relationships shape us into the people we are. Soon to be graduates, relationships have a tremendous impact in your lives. As I look around this audience, I see a large gathering of people here to celebrate a rite of passage, students graduating high school. Seniors, if I asked you to stand up and look at the same crowd, you may respond, "I see my parents and family, my friends, my bestie, my mentor, my #1 fan, or the most important person in my life." The people you have identified have shared many personal experiences with you. They are your people. Winning a league title, getting an A on a test, your first dance, TikToks together, field trips, rallies, saying goodbye to your favorite goldfish or hamster, or even passing a class at the last minute so you can be here tonight. I know who you are. These are all important events you have shared with the people you have chosen to have a relationship with. Relationships you have committed to and developed are important and will last long after you move those tassels and all the pomp and circumstance end tonight. We are here to celebrate the class of 2024 and their achievements, but I would like to acknowledge that they haven't done this alone. They have received support and guidance from committed teachers and staff, family, friends, and their community. I want to thank our teachers and staff, members in the audience, and not just the staff members dressed in graduation gowns. My thanks is meant for all teachers who are here today, either presently teaching or retired. You have dedicated yourself to expanding the minds of your students while caring for their mental health and well-being. For all of your efforts, I thank you. And seniors, before you leave campus tonight, thank a teacher. It means more to them than you know. Moms, dads, nanas, papas, aunties, uncles, caretakers, and members of our school committee, you are not forgotten. I know you have sacrificed, supported, laughed, cried, and celebrated with your children and their friends as they found success and muddled through failures during their school years. They are here tonight because of your support. You have done a great job. Thank you for allowing us to educate and nurture your children. Soon-to-be graduates, do me a favor after we're done. Stop and take as many pictures with your family as they want, and there will probably be many. Please, please be patient and don't roll your eyes. The people who are here love you and are very, very proud of you. Be in the moment with them. They earned it. Seniors, as you leave Whitman-Hanson Regional High School on the next venture of your lives, I urge you to cherish the relationships you have found and continue nurturing new connections. Whether you're pursuing future education, entering the workforce, or military service, remember that success is not measured solely by personal accomplishments, but also by the impact we have on those around us. Class of 2024, you are inclusive, you are gracious, you are accomplished, and you are kind. After you leave tonight, I hope that you live your life to the fullest and become the best human you can be. Congratulations, graduates, and may your journey be filled with meaningful relationships, endless possibilities, and many, many belly laughs. Thank you.
The faculty of Whitman-Hanson Regional High School gather near the end of each school year to put forward candidates deserving of a few annual awards. Please welcome the high school assistant principal, Mr. David Fleck, to the podium for the presentation of these awards.
The Alton E. Taylor Award given by the class of 1951. Alton Red Taylor was a member of the class of 1951 who lost his life in the Korean War. Classmates saw Red as a young man who was unknown and in some ways a non-participant until he flourished and became a leader during his senior year. Thus, the class of 1951 felt this award should be given to the senior boy who realized his potential during his senior year. The high school faculty votes this award. The recipient will receive a check in the amount of $400, and his name will be inscribed on a plaque prominently displayed here in the school. I'm proud to announce the recipient of the class of 1951's Alton E. Taylor Award is Cody Roberts. Congratulations, Cody. The Narissa Lynn Cross Cup Award, given by the class of 1999. Narissa Cross Cup was a member of the class of 1999 who tragically lost her life in a car accident during her junior year. Narissa was a determined and outgoing girl who excelled in academics and athletics. This award is given each year to a senior girl who has overcome difficult personal circumstances in her attempt to attain educational goals and who plans to attend college. The recipient will receive a personal plaque and a check in the amount of $200, and their name will be inscribed on an award plaque prominently displayed here in the school. I'm proud to announce the recipient of the Narissa Lynn Cross Cup Award is Emma Wojdag. Congratulations. The Dennis M. O'Brien Scholarships are given in memory of Mr. Dennis M. O'Brien. Dennis was a student, a teacher, and a coach here at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. The field behind me is actually named after him. These scholarships are awarded to the male and female students who have attained the highest class rank while participating in our school's athletic program over the past 4 years. The recipients of this award epitomize the student-athlete ideal we strive for here at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. The recipients of this award will receive a check in the amount of $1,000, and their names will be inscribed on a plaque prominently displayed here in the school. The first Dennis M. O'Brien Scholarship recipient is Ainsley Kobus. The second Dennis M. O'Brien Scholarship recipient is Tristan Baker. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Kevin Kafka up to present the Whitman-Hanson Education Association Scholarship.
Hello, good evening. Congratulations to the class of 2024. You made it. The Whitman-Hanson Education Association is pleased to recognize the following students for academic excellence in being outstanding. It's just an alphabetical order. So the first award is Tristan Baker. Second award is Ainsley Kobus. Third award is Nicole Donato. Okay, I have another one. This is called the Lovell Award. This is the highest award that can be granted here at graduation. So the Eugenie F. Lovell Award is given in memory of Eugenie F. Lovell, a longtime Whitman resident, school committee member, and active citizen who valued education, character, leadership, and service. This award is given to a student who achieved academic excellence, demonstrates leadership, and committed to service to our school. This is considered the highest award and is the final award granted at graduation. The recipient is selected by the vote of the high school faculty. This year's recipient will receive a plaque and a check in the amount of $1,000. Please help me congratulate Ainsley Kobus. You have to get a picture on this one. Congratulations. Hold this. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Each year, seniors are invited to submit a speech before a committee for the opportunity to offer a few words at commencement. This year, Grace Cosgrave has been selected for this honor. Her speech is entitled, "The End of New Beginnings." Grace, the microphone is yours.
The introduction to my favorite TV show starts off by saying, "Warning, the following program contains graphic stupidity among 4 lifelong friends who compete to embarrass each other." I would like to emphasize lifelong friends, as throughout my 4 years at Whitman-Hanson, I have found the Q, Joe, and Mur to my Sal in so many different people. The chapter that we are opening from the extension of high school is fairly similar to when Joe left in Practical Jokers, as many were worried, upset, and scared about the future of the show. Although many of us may be feeling that exact way about high school coming to an end, I assure you that better times are ahead of us. It's remarkable to think back on how we started as strangers, each with our own hopes, dreams, and fears. But as time passed, barriers fell away, and we discovered that we had more in common than we had ever imagined. We laughed together, cried together, and supported each other through the ups and downs of life. In each other, we found companionship, understanding, and unwavering support, similar to what was given to Joe in his decision to leave the show. I often look back on the nostalgia that fills the hallways, from freshman year when I couldn't figure out the history hallway, to looking back the next week wondering why I couldn't figure out a square with even numbers on one side and odds on the other. I often relate many of my situations to punishments in Impractical Jokers, like when Sal was stuck in a haunted cornfield, unable to find his way out. I never exactly felt that way at Whitman-Hanson, as whenever I felt stuck, I knew I could look to my peers, who are the people that I will tell my future children about. The connections I formed during high school helped change my attitude, giving me more motivation to find my Q, Joe, and Mur. With this, I was able to find more than 3 lifelong friends, and instead, I found an army of them. Although almost all of us come from the same 2 towns, where we grew up with one another, we have learned from each other, challenged each other, and grown together in ways that have enriched our lives beyond measure. Soon, we will be able to say, when I was in high school, instead of simply reminiscing on the prior 3 years. Depending on your perspective, this could be a very joyful thing to hear, or a despairing one, but no matter what, the memories created here will be told to future generations. As I learned from the Impractical Jokers, always expect the unexpected. This may sound cliche, but if you told little freshman me that I would bond with people as much as Joe, Q, Sal, and Mur did, I never would have believed it. As we embark on our individual journeys and high school becomes just a distant memory, let us carry the spirit of friendship that has defined our time here. May we continue to celebrate each other's successes, lift each other up in times of need, and always cherish the bond that unites us as close as the Impractical Jokers are. Congratulations to my fellow graduates, and thank you for making such an impact on such a small portion of my life. I have so much love in my heart for each and every one of you, and I will remember your names for the rest of my life.
So here you sit, waiting for me to get to the good part when you get that diploma and move on with the rest of the night's festivities. I mean, really, who wants to listen to some words from a guy who graduated 35 years ago? I'm not going to speak for long, I promise, but if you bear with me just for a moment, humor me. I hope to share something with you that I have come to understand since those days of analog clocks, one phone connected to the wall in the house, a TV I had to get up to change between the 8 or so channels we had, and paying $1 for a gallon of gas. The graduates are sitting here not knowing what I'm talking about. The parents understand, and the grandparents are saying, suck it up. You've learned a lot of academic things over the past 12 years in school. You've also learned a lot of other things. Tonight, I hope to add to the other things to help you be as successful as possible. So, as promised, here's the advice. The 2 things I want you to realize as you move forward both come from Viktor Frankl. First, forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess, except one thing, your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. You cannot control what happens to you in life, but you can always control what you will feel and do about what happens to you. Life is sometimes funny, odd, sad, or great. Sometimes, all at the same time, oftentimes, having nothing to do with our actions. Much of what causes it is beyond what we can control. So keep your focus on what is in your control and how you respond to every situation. Cut everything else loose. That mindset and action will help you deal with disappointment, enjoy success, and make you a master of your path. It's actually quite simple, but very hard and only accomplished through a lot of practice. That second point has to do with practice. Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it the target, the more you are going to miss. Success should be unintended side effect of one's dedication to a process that continually improves their situation. We often fall into the trap of seeing someone make it big and think that they were lucky or that it all happened at once. We miss all the small steps that led up to it. The ones that weren't accompanied by cheers, but instead missteps. The difficult times that created doubt and ability to control outcomes or even entire dreams. The times that, once put together with their lessons, show the bigger picture. How those seemingly unattached moments of discipline and routines and actions actually teach something, if we are willing to learn. The overall lesson of these 2 points is that success in life is mostly about control, who has it and what they do with it. The rest is about the consistent small steps that keep you moving forward regardless of any failures along the way. So focus on what you are in control of and be consistent in your practice, using both to create a life not only worthy of who, not what you are, but of who you can become. Class of 2024, I offer you my most heartfelt congratulations. Be who you want to be, not what others define for you. Take control and set your own destination. I'm certain it will be great. I would now like to invite Derek Olson, Secretary of the Class of 2024, to the podium to recite the class ode.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming. Before I begin, I would be mistaken if I didn't credit the people who made this ode possible. The ode was written by Mary Lynham, Nicole Donato, and Haley Ryan. And revisions were also made by the amazing Mrs. Risco, so thank you all. All right. Do you remember? 2024 sounded so far away, so out of reach. That year and the moment we've waited for, worked for, hoped for, it is now here right in front of us. Let us reminisce on all the days and be grateful for all the memories as we bid farewell to this long journey before we embark on the next. Do you remember? Our very first day of school, when we walked in the doors as naive freshmen with our heads and our confidence hung low. Think back to the feeling we had when we saw our teachers and future friends for the very first time. That memory has blossomed into so many other memories we have made on this journey. Do you remember all the emotions we experienced along the way? All the early mornings and the late nights studying, juggling classes with clubs and sports and social events, scrambling to stay on top of our grades, or to just make it to class on time. And now, we have the luxury of time. Time to reflect before we walk through another door of our lives. Naive again, but this time, heads held higher, spirits soaring. Now, we move forward, our paths branching skyward, yet our roots forever entwined, nourished by the streams of our shared experiences, in the classrooms and the hallways, the cafeteria, the gym, the fields, the band room, the pack, the junior path, the senior lot. So many echoes from our time together here at 600 Franklin Street. And a memory to add right now, bittersweet though it is. Class of 2024, our time has come. Will you remember? Thank you.
Makai DePina, the Class of 2024's Outreach Coordinator, will now present the class gift.
The Class of 2024 will proudly be contributing a couple gifts to the school this year. First, the class will be purchasing the final hydration station for the 3rd floor near the English hallway. Lastly, the Class of 2024 will be contributing to the Pay It Forward account as its class gift. This account, established by the Class of 2018, is overseen by advisors and administrators and is used for speakers and programs that cultivate a positive school climate for students and staff. It is our desire that by contributing these various gifts, the Class of 2024 will receive a lasting legacy at Whitman-Hanson by directly impacting future Whitman-Hanson students.
I would like to invite Tristan Baker, Treasurer of the Class of 2024, to the podium for the presentation of Teacher of the Year and Staff Member of the Year.
Good evening. It is quite an honor to be standing up here today to publicly acknowledge this year's Staff Member and Teacher of the Year recipients. The senior class voted the high school counseling administrative assistant, Miss Megan Rivera, as a recipient of the Staff Member of the Year award. Ms. Rivera has helped to create a relaxing, comfortable, and welcoming environment in school counseling. Whether you need documents printed for college planning or a quick appointment with a counselor, Ms. Rivera always understood the needs of students and helped with a kind smile. On behalf of the class of 2024, I am proud to recognize Ms. Megan Rivera as this year's Staff Member of the Year. This year's Teacher of the Year award recipient is the Science Department's teacher with the largest mass and baldest head, Mr. Moriarty. If there is someone who is said to make learning fun, it is Mo. Whether teaching engineering or coordinating school events, as a student counselor advisor, he is recognizably dedicated to the success of his students in the school. On behalf of the class of 2024, I am more than honored to recognize Mr. Dan Moriarty as this year's Teacher of the Year. Congratulations to both recipients, and thank you all for what you've done and continue to do for the students of Whitman-Hanson.
So I'm running out of people to introduce and things to say. Should we just do this? Yeah? So at this time, the graduating class will receive their diplomas. Yeah.
Ainsley Elizabeth Kobus.
Nicole Mary Donato.
Emily Kathleen Deal.
Mackenzie Rose Flynn.
Tristan Hop Baker.
Derek Thomas Olson.
Makai Manuel DePina.
Grace Catherine Cosgrave.
Brady Sean Ahern.
Sky Luvina Anderson.
Michael Edward Ardini.
Morgan Elizabeth Astudo.
Robert John Baker.
Alyssa Nicole Barbado.
Davi Nicholas Carvalho Barreto.
Brianna Varela Barros.
Maria Barry.
Hannah Ann Battelle.
Dylan W. Gilmore Bosmer.
Michael J. Beery Jr.
Blake James Belcher.
Cameron Joshua Beltramini.
Kenneth Scott Benton.
Aiden Thomas Berardinelli.
Victoria Rose Bassett.
Sophia Madeline Bickle.
Jacqueline Lillian Bougela.
Jackson Salvador Brennan.
Logan Joseph Bougela.
Brianna Teresa Brooks.
Owen Richard Brown.
Timothy Michael Brown.
Ryan Patrick Bruzik.
Andrew Sean Buckley.
Nathan Brian Burt.
Jonathan Joseph Burton.
Jennifer Marie Byers, diploma presented by mother and school committee member Dawn Byers.
Mikey Francois Jr. Calixt.
Kaylee Rose Caniff.
Jake Anselmo Capoletti.
Samuel James Karen.
Zachary Ryan Casey.
Cameron Joseph Cassidy.
Olivia Rose Cerritos.
Maxwell Richard Chapetta.
William Scott Cerritos.
Tyler James Chevry.
Killian Francis Clark.
Riley Sarah Cordero.
Brianna Lauren Codio.
Alexis Liana Cole.
Margaret Catherine Peng Collette.
Joseph James Concanon Jr.
Eva Grace Cooper.
Kylie Ann Cooper.
Michael Robert Coos.
Haley Corrado.
Paige Teresa Cosgrove.
Joel Matthew Cost Jr.
Paul Andrew Christina Jr.
Braden William Cronin.
Ryan Michael Crowley.
Fernanda Santos da Silva.
Leticia Ramos da Silva.
Jacob Andrew Davis.
Nicole Oliveira de Paula.
Giovanna Fernandez Rocha de Souza.
Alvin Depina Gomes.
Ayla Marie Dernier.
Sienna Marie Diaz.
Caitlin Rose DiMatteo.
Kylie Rose Dodge.
Nicholas Edward Dolan.
Robin Alice Doran.
Chloe Paige Drake.
Sydney Elizabeth Durant.
George Allen Dykins Jr.
Alexander Jeffrey Ethier.
Benjamin Joseph Evans Royster.
Sheridan Joy Ewell.
Jacqueline Emily Feeney.
Braden Robert Ferguson.
Andrew Jason Flabat.
Jeffrey Michael Ford.
Kaylee Lynn Forth.
Ethan Cole Fostello.
Emma James Frank.
Damian Anthony Joseph Frawley.
Kaylee Elizabeth Frazier.
Charlie William Frisoli.
Ty Robert Gajewski.
Emma Louise Gallahue.
Austin Michael Gamber.
David Jacob Garrettson.
Madeline Kate Geegan.
Christine Gerges.
Jenna Avery Gillen.
Abigail Rose Godwin.
Jason David Goldberg.
Olivia Grace Godwin.
Jeffrey Paul Gomes.
Jennifer Nicole Gomez Cruz.
Carolyn Morais Goncalves.
Taylor Bella Good.
Emerson Taylor Grasso.
Ayana Green.
Amelia Katrina Gretzky.
Eugene Walter Hamilton III.
Jasmine Lee Harding.
Ryan Daniel Hathaway.
Nicole Teresa Hologaitis.
Bridget Esther Iannone.
Larissa Axel Jean-Baptiste.
Montana Jean Jocelyn.
Shane Henry Johnson.
Daniel John Joyce.
Savannah Victoria Camperides.
Layla Yiren Keeney.
Talon Andrew Keefe.
Alexander Salvatore Cajeas.
Alyssa Nicole Keith.
Bailey Rose Kelly.
Samantha Rose King.
Layla Jane Kirby.
Anthony Scott Kolax Jr.
Jason Krupp.
Laure Serafina Laguerre.
Michael J. Limerick.
Lori Sybil Laguerre.
Fiona N. Lee.
Amy Marie Llanos.
Hannah Ray Luce.
Emily Lopes Silvestre.
Mary Catherine Lynham.
David Xavier McNeil.
Jameson Andrew McWalter.
Alexandra Manzueta.
McKenna Rose Marshall.
Grady Maynard.
Brooke Marie McAloney.
Connor Joseph McCarthy.
Lynn Marie McCoy.
Gavin Edward McCarthy.
Graham Leland McGinnis.
Emma Elizabeth McKeon.
Mackenzie Lynn Medeiros.
Natalia Manrique Bastos May.
Ramon Antonio Mercedes Montero.
Jacob Elias Mativier.
Joseph William Michelli.
Jennifer Lynn Mitchell.
Tyler Gary Molinari.
Brendan Patrick Moore.
William Ryan Morgan.
Aiden Michael Moros.
Grace Judith Morse.
Savannah Joe Mountcastle.
Cora May Mulready.
Nolan Mark Monroe.
Melissa Jean Murray.
Shane Gigi Mashigi.
Ryan James Nash.
Basil Salah Nima.
Yasmin Fahaz Nepomuceno.
Riley Nicole Nasrallah.
Abigail Grace Noonan.
Kira Margaret Ann Noonan.
Joshua Paul Norton.
Rebecca Helen Norse.
Kian Martin O'Brien.
Katie Marie O'Brien.
Shayla Sky O'Keefe.
Lauren Elizabeth O'Neill.
Ava Margaret Osborne.
David Paul Osis IV.
Lindsay Marie Owens.
Tyler William Palmer.
Jennifer Paramo Espinoza.
Bella Lane Perry.
Caroline Elizabeth Poth.
Ariana May Quinlan.
Cameron Michael Reeder.
Paige Florence Reichert.
Daniel Jean Richard.
Cody Michael Roberts.
Cohen Thomas Rosado.
Ashton Jaden Rose.
Olivia May Ryan.
Haley Marie Ryan.
Mateo Mullen Santalucia.
Emma Lee Scow.
Luis Fernando Almeida Satius.
William Thomas Shannon Jr.
Caden Dewar Shepard.
Connor Patrick Shields.
Colby John Sitters.
Robert Francis Silva Jr.
Anthony Joseph Smith-Slavin.
Zachary Richard Spano.
Josiah Daniel Spence.
Jordan Valo Orlandro Steves.
Marcus Luciano Cabral Tavares.
Cameron J. Swan.
Faith Coran Tabiel Thompson.
Peter Allen Tebow.
Allison Elizabeth Tobias.
Paige Elizabeth Thornton.
Luke Anthony Tropiano.
Connor Michael Triel.
Eric Matthew Van Slyke.
Dimitri John Santulis.
Sanaya Ann Victor.
Reza Ventura.
Rafael Pujoni Vieira.
Nina Killian Vieira.
Nazir Shatan Walker.
Adam Luke Vinton.
Rachel Naomi Webb.
Taylor Rose Walsh.
Derek Wayne Welch II.
Samantha Marie Ware.
Evelyn Rose Williams.
James Peter Whitman.
Jackson Robert Ratanen.
Jack Kenneth Williams.
Connor Stephen Wozniak.
Emma Kathleen Wajdag.
Morgan Elizabeth Eleanor Young.
Evan James Yakovonis. Gabriella Rose Zanaboni.
Class of 2024, please stand. It is truly an honor to exercise the responsibility vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Please move your tassels from right to left. I now pronounce you graduates of Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. Congratulations!